I'm joined now by Brian Marshall. He's a top-ranked Apple analyst with Broadpoint AmTech and has been recommending Apple since January of last year. Has turned out, of course, Brian, to be a very good call. Hearing Jobs talk about all of this yesterday to the shareholders about the amount of money that they have, that they don't want to put out dividends, then the next question would be, what type of acquisitions would they make with all that money?
Sure. Thanks, Betty. It's interesting. Apple is not really looking at large transactions right now. They would if they found anything that's interesting, but they haven't. So what they've been doing is buying small technology companies that are private and integrating, say, 100 and 150 engineers into their platform and taking that technology and driving it across their infrastructure. And so, I think they'll continue down that path. That's obviously been very successful in the past. You've seen them do that recently with Quattro Wireless as well as Lala. And I think they're also making a significant investment in their data center infrastructure. Specifically, they've got one of the largest data centers being built currently in North Carolina. And so we think that Apple's probably going to do more hosted technologies in the future, like having your iTunes library online, et cetera.
But why wouldn't they go through with a large acquisition? Is it that there aren't really that many candidates out there, or that they just don't need it?
Well, I think they haven't found anything that's interesting. I mean, I truly believe that Apple has the best technology model on the planet, and there isn't anything that actually has been interesting to them to acquire. So while they do have total net cash of $40 billion right now, head and shoulders above the other tech juggernauts like Cisco, Microsoft, and Google, there just isn't anything out there interesting for them right now.
Brian, do you agree with Jobs that they don't need to pay a dividend right now?
Well, I actually don't think a dividend is the right move. I think that kind of signals maturity, and they're definitely not a mature company, in my opinion, despite $50 billion in annual revenue and growing. I do think a dividend, I do think a shareholder buyback actually would make more sense. I mean, maybe just start with $1 billion a quarter. Again, the other tech leaders out there, they have less than $30 billion of net cash per share, so or net cash balances. So I think Apple is just head and shoulders above everybody else, and that's just simply an under-optimized asset, in my opinion.
Okay. Let's move on, though, from the stock itself. And just very quickly, Brian, I want to address the idea of the exclusivity deal with AT&T. It seems like it's only a matter of time before Jobs and Apple start talking about Verizon. Am I wrong?
No, that's definitely true. I think that Verizon still is a possibility in the second half of this year. Clearly Verizon does have a superior network relative to AT&T, and they have about 30% more postpaid subscriber base. So it'd be a phenomenal business move to have another carrier partner in the U.S., in our opinion. The only question remains, AT&T obviously gave very attractive pricing on the data plans for the iPad, so one must wonder, well, did they get an extension on the iPhone exclusivity through year end? That could be a possibility.
Okay. Brian, good to talk with you.